we'll go through Outlook automation, and that there are also ways to do Gmail automation. And then, yeah, we'll do a practice on the same. So the prerequisite for today is, I know you've gone through the UiPath StudioX installation, and I'm sure as at now, all of you or most of you have installed StudioX on your machines and have been able to practice. Also, for purposes of today's session, it's good to have Outlook or at least Gmail account for your practice. And then we'll look at how we can automate using Outlook or Gmail. So to begin with, what is email automation? Basically, it's just automation related to your email account. We all know how essential email it is for organizing and communicating in our day-to-day. And it's the primary mode of communication between most of us, family, friends, work, and everything. And Gmail and Outlook are the two most popular email clients in the market today. So having that skill to be able to integrate email clients in your UiPath Studio is a very important skill to have. So we'll find out how to automate the same. And also, as you go on in your development journey, you'll realize that mail is a very important step in your automation process, because you'll find that sometimes you'll need, a bot will need to listen into emails to begin a process, or a bot will need to send you an email to notify you of the progress of your process, or maybe to notify you of something you do to pay attention to. So an email automation is very important in your development journey. So what can you automate using UiPath? When creating a new project that involves the automation of Gmail or Outlook, you will use either the three following are available in UiPath StudioX. So there's the use of desktop Outlook app, the use of 365 Outlook, and the use of Gmail. And on the right, you'll see the various actions or activities available in UiPath X. You can archive, you can delete, and building up on the iterations you can do for each email to iterate through various emails. You can forward an email, you can mark the email as read or unread, you can move an email, you can save, you can send an email, you can even send a calendar invite and even respond to an email using automation. So our primary focus for today will be the use of desktop Outlook app. And this is basically an activity which allows you to select the Outlook account to automate this account. I mean, the Outlook account is one which is already configured in your Outlook desktop application. So using this activity, it contains all the actions that you want to take on the Outlook account. If you want to send an email using the Outlook desktop Outlook app, all the activities will be inside inside the body of that activity. We also have the Outlook 365, and this is just the Exchange account to automate. So if you don't have the Outlook desktop on your account, you can use the Outlook 365 and then nest and then actions will be nested in the body, this activity. And then finally, we have the Gmail. The Gmail account, this is where now you integrate with your Gmail and your Google Calendar to automate activities for the Gmail account. And again, if you want to do any actions, all the activities will be nested in the body of the use Gmail activity, as you can see on the diagram. So we'll go straight ahead to demo, and I'm sure you have received the link for our files which we'll use today. So let me just share the UiPath StudioX. Oh, sorry, I was to start my video. Just a minute, I'm sharing my StudioX so we can do our practice for the day. Can you see my screen? Kindly confirm it's using the StudioX.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, thank you. So I'm sure you've all installed the StudioX. So as always, we'll begin by starting with a blank task. And so kindly confirm you've all received the link to the files which we'll be using today. We have an Excel file, we have some mail files, and you've been able to access that. Anyone, any confirmation? Okay, I'll just continue. So I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure if my mic is working. Okay.
No, we can hear you actually without that.
Okay, thank you. So we'll begin by a blank task. I hope you're all following. Process name, you can name it anything. I've named it mail automation. You can specify the location in which you want your bot to be at. So mine will sit in the documents and the UI path. And then the description, you can put anything. I think it's a good practice to be putting descriptions in as you begin your bots. So you can just write anything and then you click on create. So today we'll focus on the desktop Outlook app, which I have it configured on my desktop. Let's give it a second. So as we continue, it's important to ensure that you have your desktop application installed, it is configured well, and you've actually signed in or you have an account there. So as we said, if you want to use the desktop Outlook, you drag in your use desktop Outlook, and then we have two properties here that we need to fill. So for the account, this is where you configure the specific email that you want to use. So there's the default, which if you only have one account, it picks as the default. If you have several accounts, if you have like several, like 2-3 accounts, they'll be listed in the drop down below. And if you want to use any other than the default account, you can select it from the drop down. But if you only have one, you can leave it as the default. And another tip is if you're sharing this bot with someone else, or you're sharing this, maybe you're publishing and sharing with someone else, keeping as default is important, as it will automatically pick their default email, which is configured in their own desktop. So if you only have one, as I said, leave it as default. If you have several, you can pick whichever you want from the list. Then the reference, leave it as Outlook. This now references whatever you're trying to do to your Outlook application. So we'll begin by reading our emails. So if I open my emails, you'll see I've just forwarded myself some, we'll use these 3 emails. Well, these 3 emails which I've forwarded myself, which will be focused for today. So we'll come to for each. For each now, this activity helps us to go through our email, and then we can select whether we want to only highlight the unread emails or we only want to do with the attachments only. And for the limits, we can say we want to read so this highlights the number of emails to iterate through. Remember, for each iterates through each and every, it's like a loop, it iterates through each and every one, every email or each and every activity that you're going through. So for the limit, you can say you want it to read. If you put only one, the bot will only loop through or iterate through the first email only. If you put 10, it will only loop through the 10. If you put 100, only 100, and so forth. If you want to put no limit, it can read through, but it will only, and then if you check unread, it will only read, it will go iterate through each and every email, but only check which is unread. If you decide to put with attachments only, it will check through all your emails, and then only those with attachments are the ones which will be read. And if you put unread and with attachments only, it will go through only your unread emails and those only which have attachments. So you are the one to decide what you want to do here. So for each, we'll leave it with the current mail. This just shows that we want to what you've referenced here is what you want to go through each. And then in emails from. So before we begin there, remember I had mentioned earlier that this activity is a project and we had shared the files. So just a minute. because we'll be using the Excel file. Sorry, let me just take you back. Because we'll be using an Excel file through this project. So it's important to configure which file you'll be using through the project. So we'll come here, notebook, then configure notebook. So here we will be referencing which file you want to use. So we'll be using the Excel file later. So let's just come, you can now access your documents, and then we will be using this job posting. So just click job posting, then open, and then it will now be referencing. If we have to use the file, we'll be referencing it through this path. And then click OK. So yeah, sorry. So hope you've gotten that. If you have any questions, please share. So we come to the for each, as I was saying. So this for it can be configured, as I said, to filter a specific number of emails with either unread mail messages or emails with attachments only. And then there are other custom filters. So if you come here to additional files, you can also specify which other conditions you want. So if you want maybe the body contains job postings, or maybe the subject contains maybe communications from HR, or if you want to specify from specific people, then you can write here from, and then you can specify whichever values you want. So, but we will not go there today. So as I was saying, so for each, in emails from, as I was saying here, it's important to specify where you want to load. So we'll just click on the plus sign, and then Outlook. And then for me, I want my bot to read from my inbox folder. So I just click on the inbox. And then you notice that my inbox has specific other subfolders within the inbox, but I want it to read in the main inbox folder. So I just click on the inbox. And then for me, I don't want any limit. So whichever unread email is there, I want it to read all the emails. I don't want it to do any attachments, but you can experiment with the other conditions. So with this, so it will open my email. It will iterate through each and every email, and it will show me the unread email. So I will add here a message box so that it can pop up which specific emails it has read. And then, so here, I want it to show me the subject which has specified. So I expected to pick these 3 subjects, and then to show me that it has indeed gone through each and this unread emails, and it has read. So we can run this first part. So you can see the first one, the second one, this is the subject, and the third one, this is the subject that it has read. So it is clear that, oh, so it's iterating, so we need to stop it. Okay. So it's going through, it has gone through my unread emails, and it has shown me, because here I specified to pop up with the subject for me to be sure that the bot is really going through my unread emails. So as you can see, it has only read. Yeah, I have another one here. So you can see it has only gone through and only read the subject, but it hasn't marked whether it is read or unread. So I can't tell whether the bot was able to really see. So maybe the next step we'll go through is now marking the emails as read. So let's just disable this. Then now we can bring this activity, marking email as read or unread. So again, we'll leave it as current mail, which is what was specified here. So it will go through my unread emails and it will mark them as read. So let's just run that. we see if it works. As you can see, the ones which were marked, which were in my inbox, they're now marked as red, and now we can see that that run was successful. So for the next activity.
Sorry, Lydia, before you continue, I think you are not showing us the mail part of your email. We're only seeing UiPath StudioX. So we are not seeing the email.
Okay. Thank you for that, Emmanuel. Let me just reshare my whole screen. I think I was sharing.
Yes.
Only the. Are you able to see my emails now?
We can. Thank you.
Okay. So maybe let me just mark as unread again, and then I will also enable this activity so that we can see that it really worked. So just to recap, we referenced our accounts, then we did a for each to loop through our unread emails. I specified to read through my inbox, my emails in the inbox, and only the unread emails. And then I did a message box for me to see that the bot has really read my unread emails, and then to give a message box for the subjects. So just to confirm, my subjects are, the first one is my resume, the second one is account, the third one is customer. So let's run that. And then I also did a mark as read, but let me first disable this for us, just to go step by step again. So the first step is just to see that it has truly run our, gone through our emails. So as you can see, let me confirm with this. The first one is my resume. The second one is account manager opening, which is this subject. And the third, we have customer service team lead, which is the third subject. Okay, that was a successful run. And then on the second step, we did mark as read. As you can see, my bot has just gone through my emails, but it hasn't marked whether it is read or not. The second step, which we can automate, is for the bot to mark if it has gone through the email, which are unread, to mark them as read. So let me just enable this. And just to recap, I picked this activity from here, dragged it, and didn't change anything because I want my email to reference the current email which was specified in the for each. And then the activity I wanted to do is mark them as read. You can also mark as unread. If you have emails, maybe you can specify the emails by date. You can filter the emails by date and then mark them as unread if you want to go through them later. But today I want to mark the 3 emails as read. And let me just disable this activity for message box to avoid the pop-ups. And then let's see if it will mark as read. It can now confirm from our emails, and you see the run was successful. And there are 3 emails which were unread and now read. Okay. Yes, I hope you're all following. So for our next activity, we will do a forward email. We'll see how now we can receive this email and how we can automate the process of forwarding an email. And just to recap again, the project we are doing today, it will be like a hiring project where candidates will have sent. Let me just mark them as unread so that we can take on the next step of action. So the candidates will have sent maybe their applications. Let's say we are a hiring company, they send the applications to us. And so how can we, maybe if we received an email based on specific conditions, how can we now forward maybe emails which qualify to a specific, maybe one of our hiring managers, or maybe if it's an IT position, an IT manager for them to go through. So we'll automate the forwarding process, and then we'll see how it goes. So for the forwarding, we will So for the forwarding, we will do an if condition. If an email satisfies the condition that we have told it to, then it will forward the email to a specified email address. And this is where, let me just open it. This is where the Excel file will come in. So if someone has, maybe a candidate has sent an email which contains maybe the job requirements, maybe the job requirements state that if you're applying, maybe on the subject, put your job requirement ID and the job title. If it contains that in your subject, then we forward that email to the hiring manager. And then later we will now send a calendar invite to the candidate, and then we'll include also the personal meeting room. So let me just close that so I can be able to use it. And so we'll go through how now we can forward that email. So we'll begin by now adding an if activity to our to the for each body. So we come and add an if activity, which is a condition that we'll be using today. So we add an if condition. So here we click the plus icon. So here is where now you can specify your conditions. So we'll have a condition builder. So remember I had said that we'll specify, the condition is that if the subject contains the job ID, then we forward it to a hiring manager who maybe is in our company or something like that. So when you click the plus icon, you come here, current mail. Subject. And then here we say contains. So if the subject contains, so here we will now pick the value from the Excel file, which I had showed you earlier, which contains the job ID. So we'll click on the plus icon and then notebook, and then indicate in Excel. Let's allow it to open the Excel. And then now once we have opened this Excel file, now it is asked to pick which you want. So let's pick this first one. So B2, you click on the B2 and then you click confirm for it to pick. So you can see the condition if the subject contains the job ID, which have specified as B2 according to the Excel. So once we have now then done our condition, so what happens next? Now what happens next is what to put here in the then body. Okay, so next we do forward email. So you remember we had said we are forwarding based on a condition which you are specified on the if. So we come and click the forward condition, a forward email activity. In the forward email activity, we see have different properties which you need to add. So we come here, here it will remain the same. Remember, it is what we had specified when we were doing the for each. So it will remain as the current email. We'll leave it as that, which is the default value. When you come to the to, here is where we add the recipient. So we have satisfied the condition. So whom are we sending the email to? So the recipient here will come. Remember in the Excel file, we have the hiring manager's email, whom we want to forward the email to. So we click on the add to recipient. We indicate in Excel. Okay, it has refused. Let me close this. It's bringing an error, bringing an error because our Excel was open. So let's try again, add to recipient. So we indicate in Excel. So we click on the D2, which is the email of our hiring manager. Click OK. So if you have a CC, if you maybe want to CC maybe another boss or another manager, you can add here. If maybe you had the column which specified another manager, you want to CC the person, you can always add it here. And then when you come to the subjects, here you can now personalize it the way you want. So let's come to text. Maybe we can write kindly review candidate. You can put whatever subject you want. And then maybe just to make it interesting, you can again here current mail. So you want to tell this person whom we are forwarding the email to kindly review this candidate. So we can attach the email. Maybe you can write current, the from, this is the sender of maybe the candidate who sent the application. Kindly review this candidate. And then you can maybe write for position. And then just to make it interesting again, let me just close this. You can specify that position, the job title for this position. Okay, so the subject can be kindly review this candidate for this specific position. Then you can save, and you can now play around with whichever subject you want to. Then on the body, when it comes to the body, can click text if you want text, or if you have a Word document which specifies, which has the exact text that you want to send, you can now put that Word document. But if you have the text, you can put the text here. And then again, you can come to the text, just say, hello, here are the details of the candidate, or whatever you want to put. Then you can also add other things to make it. You can indicate in the email, maybe or you can put the email of this candidate or anything like that. So you can just say save, and then we'll leave it as save it as draft, so that you can see from our drafts how the email will go. Okay, and then yeah, that's it. So let's see how this works. I have marked my emails again as unread, so you can see how it works from the beginning. So just to recap again, we referenced the email, we did a for each, we marked them as read, and then we introduced a condition where we need to forward a specific email to a hiring manager. So let's run this and see how it works. Let me just close this. The last one is successful. So how do we know it has run well? So let's go to our email. We can see it has marked read our emails. Then we can look in the draft which we had said. So we see here the one we had specified. So this is the email from the candidate. The lower part is the email from the candidate. This person had applied and written, this was the subject from the candidate. Our condition was, if the subject contains this job ID, then forward whichever email from the candidate to Jen Doe, who's a hiring manager. And you can see how it has worked. We specified the recipient. We specified, you remember we specified the subject where we said kindly review candidates. Then we said current email from, and this is the email from. And then for position, we highlighted from the Excel file, which is here, the senior customer service representative. And then in our text, we said here the details of the candidate, and it also inserted the CV of this candidate or the documents which the candidate had shared. So we can see this has worked. And again, you can forward to as many as you want, depending on whichever condition. So for the condition, you can do whatever you want here. You can decide to do a from, or you can decide maybe your condition is to a specific date, emails coming from us on a specific date, or emails containing maybe application details. You can now do that. And for you, then we now specify what you want to do with that. So that's our forward email, and we see it has worked okay. So for the next segment, and if you have any question, kindly just interrupt and I'll be able to answer. If I'm going too fast, also just tell me, I'll be able to slow down. So what we can do next, maybe to save attachments. If we go through our emails, we can see that we have a number of attachments. We have, for the 3 emails, we have attachments. So how do we save attachments? How do we make our bots? How do we automate that process where if we have any emails with specific attachments to be able to be sent or to be saved in a specific folder. So I'll do this one last bit, save email, save attachments. You can come to activity and just search. So we can do a save email attachment. And you remember you're putting this in the body of the for each, which we had specified earlier. So here it will allow us to save email attachments to a specific folder, which we will specify as we go. So again, the default is the current email. Then we can filter by file name. So we can say it's a configuration which can provide a specific file name that you want to save. So we can say that maybe you want only files with specific extensions or specific file names. And so we can now go ahead and now save to a specific folder. So I will specify the path in which I want to save my attachments in. I had a folder here. You can create a new folder. Resumes, I will save in this folder. And then if you want to overwrite existing, you can overwrite existing. And if you check this, it will overwrite any existing file with the same emails. And then if you leave it unchecked, it will just add maybe 1, 2, or add a number afterwards. So we can run this and see how it will work. Let me just mark as unread to ensure it works throughout from the beginning. We'll just do one run. Oh, sorry. Now let's deal with the error. So just a minute. Close my Excel, then we run again. See if it runs. Okay, so it has run successful. So remember what you are doing here is saving the email attachments. So we'll check in this path to see if the email attachments have been saved. And it has saved for Bruce Wayne. Remember, it's because it's within the if. So it has gone through this condition. It has found only one email satisfies the condition. And that's why it has only saved that that attachment. If you wanted to save all of them, we can just bring it out here. Let's see how that works. It was not. Sorry. As you can see, it has saved all the 3 resumes which were unread in my email. And you see here, I didn't check the overwrite, so it has just added a 1 from which was existing before. If I had checked this overwrite existing, it would have been, this file will have been overwritten and we won't have a Bruce Wayne _1. So I see because of time, I will leave it at that, but we can have more and more experiments on the same. You can check also how to reply, also how to send calendar invites. I was to do calendar invite, but the time has gone. Using the files that have been shared in the Google Drive link, you can also practice with the Gmail and the Outlook 360. Yes, thank you. Back to you, Emmanuel. Any questions?
Thank you, Lydia, for the session. What a great session. If you have questions, please let us know now. You can ask Lydia or myself. Okay, I think the question here, Jonathan has answered it. Any other question for Lydia before she leaves?
Nobody wants to ask anything regarding email automation? Then can you tell us in the chat whether the session was clear or you think you managed to learn from this session? Please give us feedback in the chat. Emmanuel, do we have a quiz for today?
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's start the quiz while they will give us some feedback in the chat. Please, guys, don't be afraid. Tell us in the chat whether you actually managed to learn or follow the training. Let's start the quiz.
Okay. Lydia is a great teacher, so no question.
Thank you very much, Lydia, for the session. Yes, beautiful session.
Chat. Thank you. Thank you. I really enjoy your class.
Thank you.
Another person?
Okay. Emmanuel, can we start the quiz?
Okay, I thought someone was still talking.
No, they are thanking Lydia on the chat for the great session she delivered.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'm presenting now. I'm going to be sharing my screen in few seconds.
Guys, you know the drill,
Okay, yeah.
menti.com. And we have the code too. It's 800-707 and 67. Okay. I wrote the code, so copy paste the code to get into the quiz room. 800-707-67. Okay, you started getting in. So let's see, we have 22 and there are about 5 of us, so it should be around 17 of you in the quiz room. Come on, guys, it's easy. Menti.com and 800-707-67. Okay, 10, 11, more.
Join, guys, join.
Okay, I see we are stuck at 11. Okay, that's it. 12.
Someone just joined.
The robot. Of course, the robot should join.
Yeah, our PA just joined. Ow.
And the caterpillar. Okay, let's start this.
Okay, we have 13 people. Okay, good.
It's good. It's a good show.
Yeah.
Lydia is saying she has issues joining. Wait a bit.
Oh, I've started the quiz. Lydia, sorry about that.
Okay, so which activity executes one or more activities for each email in an email folder? Activity email, for each email, or move email?
Great. Let's see the leader.
All answers. The quiz has the same problem, Emmanuel. Let's go a bit on the presentation and mark the correct answer. There was no correct answer marked. So go into edit mode, close screen share a bit.
Okay.
Close screen share. Yes.
Oh,
and go into the edit mode in Menti and choose the correct answer between the three. And check all other slides that they have the correct answer chosen.
Oh, okay. Oh, I just saw it. Sorry about that.
Okay, so you have to mark in green in front of the correct answer. And when you do that for all slides, then switch again to present mode and share screen.
Okay.
No panic, don't hurry. Do it thoroughly. Okay, so Lydia, you will have another chance to join.
Okay.
Do you still have issues connecting, Lydia, with joining?
Please let me stop the recording also.
Okay, stop it.